Whether it happens in Chicago or around the globe, be the first to know about it. Text BREAKING to 68683 and get breaking news alerts. 89 WLS.
.636. Awake with Jake. It's a Saturday morning. Bob in Chicago. Bob, what can I do for you? You're on 89 WLS.
Good morning, my man. Wake with Jake.
Yeah, you should be happy the Sox won last night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think they're going to have a very good year. Before I get on to my other topics, though, what's goofier? Now, that's the only word I could come up with. What's goofier? A team that's playing real good baseball, winning 2.5 games out of first place, and draws 20,000, or a team that couldn't beat the Little Sisters of the Poor and draws 35,000.
And if you put a gun to my head and had me and said, Jake, I want you to name 6 of the starters on the Cubs team, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, then I think you answered your own. You answered my question.
Yeah.
You know, well, I have a way to solve the White Sox attendance problems, but that's a whole other phone call. I could solve it real easy, though. In 2 or 3 weeks, the Obamacare decision is going to come down.
Yes.
So,
the Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's the Supreme Court. Now, you know, obviously I'm not a constitutional scholar, but I don't think you have to be a Harvard graduate. Of course, that might hurt your decision-making skills. But anyways, there's nowhere in the Constitution, nowhere, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that says that we owe everybody in the United States of America health care. It's just not in there. It's not even implied in there. And you asked about, you know, this country and what's going to be happening and how we can correct things. What we got to do, in my view, is we have to go back in order to go forward again. We have to go back to what the Founding Fathers did with the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. You just can't make up this stuff as a goal. You know, you're hearing the left say, well, the Constitution, it's flexible. It's, you know, it goes back.
It's a living, breathing thing. But you know what?
Yeah.
The big thing in this Obamacare is the making you buy something from a private company.
You can't do it. There's nothing. Do you actually think, Ruth, that the Founding Fathers would sit there in Philadelphia, you know, in 100-degree heat, and come up with a document that you would have to buy something from the federal government when that's what they were fighting for in the first place, is to get away from that?
You can make the argument, you know, the federal government, our tax dollars invested in GM, they still owe us $51 billion, I believe the number is.
Yeah,
so you can make the argument. The government then can come in and say, you know what, Americans, you need to buy cars from GM because we need to get that $51 billion paid back.
And there's nothing in there that says we're supposed to give these Solyndras money and all this other nonsense. You have to buy these light bulbs that, you know, my brother, he buys these light bulbs now. He's on the opposite end of the political spectrum when it comes to him and myself, but he says he buys them, they go out. They don't work.
They're supposed to last 25 years.
Yeah, okay, 25 years. I think maybe 25 minutes is the best way to do it. So, you always joke around with me, Jake, and, you ask how many more days left. It's 144 days left. And I'll tell you that, I'll leave you with this. I used to fly my American flag every day after 9/11. Out there every day. Now, I put it out there for July 4th and holidays like what's coming up. Hopefully, on November 7th, I can start flying that flag all over again. Have a nice day.
Take care, Bob. I think you know which way he's going. You know what time it is? Speaking of Bob's.
Oh, help me, please, doctor. I'm damaged. There's a pain where there was.
See, to go from Joe into sports to Dr. Bob, you need something in between. You got to clean the palate. And Bob did it. Good morning, Dr. Bob.
Like a fine sorbet, Bob from the South Side.
Yes.
You know, he didn't tell us how many days, did he? Or did I miss that?
He did, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I was thinking about something else. Well, this is the land of Jake, where you have to be named either Bob or Paul to get on the air. So, interesting thing. So this Medicaid bill that they passed yesterday in the down in Springfield, what a lot of people don't know, that buried within the bill is all sorts of compliance with Obamacare, so that there'll be some early cash flow from Washington to Illinois, and Illinois will be the first state in the union to implement certain areas of Obamacare.
Well, here's what I don't understand. And when Bob mentioned the Supreme Court, it triggered something in my mind. When they were having the arguments, they mentioned that Obamacare was supposed to give tons of dough. I think they said the states would be awash with money from Obamacare to pay for Medicaid.
That was a Supreme Court justice that said that.
Yeah, but if that's the case, why are we cutting these people off of Medicaid now?
Well, what happens is the states get awash with money like for the first year or two, and then it all goes back to a state responsibility. Right now, Medicaid is a split responsibility for payment between the state and the federal government. I think, I'm not sure exactly if it's 50-50 or 60-40, but under healthcare reform, because of all the cost savings and cost shifting, that it's actually there's going to be a demand to increase the Medicaid rolls, and then the costs are going to be shifted even further onto the states.
Well, but I know you're right. It's going to increase the Medicaid rolls, but yet, according to the story in the paper yesterday, they're getting people off the Medicaid rolls.
They're trying to get frauds off. Now, I had one lady.
Well, wait a minute. The story in the paper yesterday with that one family with that poor child who is getting care at home, and by them cutting this program now, she's going to have to go to a hospital, which is going to be more expensive. I don't think that's fraud.
Well, let me just rephrase that. There's a lot of fraud in the system. I mean, I know some doctors who bring their family members in from overseas, get them enrolled in Medicaid, and then they have hip surgery or heart surgery. Then they go back to their home country.
And I know Cook County Hospital used to be, and I hope they've cleaned it up since, where people were coming in from out of this country, the visit, quote unquote, and while they were here, they'd have gallbladder surgery, heart transplant, everything.
Yeah, and
then leave the taxpayers with the bill.
And I had one lady who I saw her son, and he had a problem, and I had to put him on, I had to do this, that, and, and I said, what kind of insurance you have? And she goes, well, we got 2 insurance programs. We got this PPO, and then we got a Medicaid card. I'm going to put it on the Medicaid card so then I don't have to pay the copays. And you know what she did for a living?
What?
They ran an asphalt company. Very, very well, wealthy. But there's a lot of cheats out there. There's a lot of
everything. They're talking about the food stamp program was on the news in the 5 o'clock at top of the 5 o'clock hour, where people are claiming their cards are lost. They let like 3 times a year, and what's happened is people are selling those cards, and then of course people are just taking the food stamps, but then they get a replacement card and get more money. How many times, you know what, in my world, if I were running the country, the second time you lose your food stamp card, well, you're gone for 2 years. No food for you for 2 years.
No food for you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well,
come on, keep losing your card, please.
In the Medicaid program, we get paid an average of 8 cents on every dollar we bill, and there's a copay. If you're under 18, there's no copay, or in a couple of other situations. But the copay is very minimal. It's
how much? $2. 8 cents on a dollar?
Pardon?
8 cents on a dollar?
Well, let me tell you, Jake. If I'm forced to take more of this, I'm going to come work for Cumulus Media and sell advertising.
8 cents on a dollar. That's probably he's going to charge $300,000 for treat hemorrhoids.
It doesn't exactly work that way. You can't. I can't. You can if you're a frauder, but I can't increase my bills like that. I have to submit charges, and these it's $40, $60, $80, $110 charges, and then I'll get paid 8 cents on that when I get paid, like 2 to 3 years after I submit the charges. But The copays are minimal. They were $2. I think in many situations they're going up to $3.60. Why the odd number, I don't know. But people all the time will say, "I can't afford the $2. I can't afford the $2." So we say, "Okay, we're nice people. We're doctors. We're all codependents. We want to help people. So come on back." And we see the patient, and then they, you ask them questions, and then you're looking at their new $300 sneakers, and they're talking about the fact that they're got a vacation planned to Las Vegas, and then next week or so, they're going
next time they come in and they can't afford the $2 copay, tell them you'll give them $2 for one of their sneakers.
And you want to know something? If you turn them away, then if you say, discrimination. You're discriminating against me. I'm gonna.
No, they don't have the copay.
It's a fine line. A lot of times they have a problem. You need to see them. You're following up from the hospital, and they got a serious problem that could turn back into a life-threatening condition. And and one of the problems is that the personalities that go into medicine are people that want to help other people.
Well, there's the problem right there.
And so we will look over.
We need more business people being doctors.
We need more hard-nosed, stiff-spined, nasty people. Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
federal government workers. That's what you need.
All the doctors are selling their practices and going to work for stiff-spined, nasty people. So it's going to work out. So we're armed for success.
My son's going to start buying practices up at 8 cents on the dollar.
Yeah,
and he's going to just get very stiff-spined and whatever.
Hartford Medical Industries. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I got other patients now. The other big thing is somebody's got a hold of my name and my DEA number, and they're calling pharmacies all over the city of Chicago trying to score narcotics. And every day I'm getting like 3 phone calls from this pharmacy in Hinsdale, this pharmacy in Highland Park, this pharmacy in down on Devon. Did you approve these 300 Vicodin for this person? And then I call the police, and they're saying, well, we'll take a report on it. And. Will you do something about it? No, it's good that we get it down in writing in case, something comes back at you for, prescribing.
This is not your time to be complaining, Dr. Bob.
I know, it's Memorial Day.
You're supposed to be here helping people.
Yeah, to be honest with you, one of the most moving times in my entire life was when I visited Normandy, and I used to go there every year and spend about 3 weeks and follow the troop movements from the D-Day invasion. And then being at Pointe du Hoc, where Reagan gave a speech on the 50th anniversary, and see where the Texas Rangers scaled that cliff face, facing certain death. I mean, if you're there and you look at it, it's unbelievable what these guys did. And they've left the terrain in the fashion that it was after the bombardment. I mean, the ground is all scalloped out from those 16-inch shells hitting it. And then you go down like a mile and you go to Deauville, where the cemetery is, and you see the thousands of crosses and stars of David in perfect alignment. And it's so quiet there and serene, and you realize, just what the cost of what we have is today. And people like me complain because I live in relative safety and security, and I'm concerned about the future of the country and spending and everything like that. But these guys all gave their lives so that we could have the ability and the privilege to live in safety and security and complain like we do. So, all
right, thank you, Dr. Bob.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye.
I had thank you, Dr. Bob. I had the D-Day on my list of places to go before I die. I've taken it off the list because I realize I'm never going to get there. Just like I've never been to Maui. Not going there either. I've taken that off the list. Do you see the U.S. Ninth Court's going? They're going to spend $1 million in Maui having a conference. I made a mistake years ago when I didn't go to work for the federal government. I could have seen the world. Anyway, 650, back to your calls, 591-8900, Awake with Jake on 89 WLS.
Nothing for you.
The NATO summit is behind us.
It's time for healthcare, not warfare.
And 89 89 WLS was there every step of the way.
And that incited a big cop protest riot, which lasted about 15 minutes.
Giving you everything you needed to know when you needed it most.
We're at the Boyne headquarters, a disappointing crowd, really in the hundreds.
One station making history every day.
We stand here in solidarity.
Chicago's talk leader.
The commercial district is full of war criminals, too.
89 WLS.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
This week marks the official beginning of summer, and not just our summer vacations, but summer chores and tasks as well. With the warmer weather and longer days, there's more time for work, and tractors are revving up all across America. Whether you are a homeowner with bite-sized yard chores, or you own a large section of American soil for farming, Kubota has the tractor you need, and new models are on the showroom floors right now. We spoke with Paul Williams, Kubota's senior product manager, about their latest M-Series tractors.
We were just in Nashville for our Machinery and Music City event, where we unveiled our new line of deluxe midsize M-Series tractors. Our flagship line this year is our Grand X Series with the all-new Grand Cab that's quite literally built for two people. The Grand X M-Series tractors excel with high-performance Kubota diesel engines and a 24-speed IntelliShift transmission along with a new hydraulic system. The new Grand X is the ultimate luxury workhorse, and we were proud to show it off in Nashville.
For more on Kubota's new Grand X tractors and full lines of equipment, large and small, visit Kubota.com. I'm Rob Dalton.
Meet one of your local Geico agents.
Hello.
She's close by.
Feel free to call or stop by anytime.
Call or pop right in for some small talk. You know, lovely weather. Fancy the game tonight? Could I save 15% or more on my car insurance? 15%? That's not small talk, is it? I never like that term. It's a bit offensive to folks like myself.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
To see how much you could save, contact your local Geico office in Chicago, Schaumburg, or Schererville.
As a home plate ump, my eyesight is my paycheck. Strike one!
Strike, that thing was chin high!
But the price of monthly contact lenses was eating me up. Strike two!
Come on, it bounced to the plate!
So to save some money, I'm just using these glasses I found. Cha-ching! Strike three, you're out!
He hasn't even pitched the ball yet!
There's an easier way to save. To get a free rate quote, go to Geico.com. Then buy online, over the phone, or at your local Geico office.
Tired of the long commute and spending your paycheck on gas? Check out EPA's Best Workplaces for Commuters. Employers making every day Earth Day by offering you benefits like transit passes, van pools, and telework programs. They save you money, stress, and save the environment. Visit bwc.gov. Ask your employer to get on the list of best workplaces for commuters. Cleaning the air and saving energy, one commute at a time. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and this station.
Listen, if you're considering buying hardwood flooring, don't do anything until you've written down this number and received your free Lumber Liquidators catalog.
The flooring with high quality with an unbeatable price tag.
Call in the next 10 minutes to get your free catalog.
What I bought at Lumber Liquidators is of vastly higher quality than flooring I had installed 6 years ago, and for a fraction of the cost.
So if you want great hardwood flooring at unbeatable prices, trust Lumber Liquidators. We buy direct from the mills. Call right now to get our flooring guide and catalog absolutely free. It's filled with top quality hardwood flooring, including solid hardwoods, laminates, and bamboos, and even Bella Wood pre-finished flooring with a 100-year transferable warranty. The same floor Bob Vila has in his home. This free catalog is full of tips, ideas, and our flooring project list to make your buying decisions easy. Hurry, call right now to get a copy of this free guide and catalog. Call 800-853-1444 to get your free copy now. 800-853-1444. 800-853-1444.
Where does Main Street meet Wall Street? Listen to Securing Your Financial Future with me, Tom Byrne, CEO of Trend Capital Managers, Sunday morning at 8.
News from across the country and around the world is moments away with an ABC News update on 89 WLS and WLSAM.com.
.55, Awake with Jake. Another hour to go until Paul Bryan gets here with Drive Chicago, taking your calls. 591-8900, AJ in Maryville. AJ, you're on 89 WLS. Hello, Al? Al, AJ, who are you? He died. He passed on. A moment of silence for him. Okay. Oh, man. We were talking real estate off the air earlier and home prices. And I was telling one of the kids here that home prices, if you're going to buy a home, now's the time if you can get the financing. And Donald Trump said when he was on with me about a month ago that if you go to a bank, that owns the property. Oh, look at this. Alan Merrifield came back to life. Well, he's dead in my world. If you can if you're going to buy a house, buy it from a bank that owns it because you're more likely to get financing from them. And there's a lot of good deals out there right now. A lot of good deals. So if that's what you're looking for, now's the time to, if you can do it, if you have the money. You know who's trying to sell her home if you've got $2.8 million? Oprah. She has a condo down in Streeterville. She's never even lived in it. She paid close to $6 million for it. And she's tried to sell it for that, and she can't get the money. So now it's down to $2.8 million. Really nice. If you have an extra $2.8 million, you may want to take a look at it. And I was listening to the list of properties she owns. She's got property in Santa Barbara. She's got homes all over the place. She has another condo, I think, in Streeterville that she did live in. She owns a house in Elmwood Park. I didn't know she had a country place in Elmwood Park. Apparently, the Streeterville where she lived was like her city place during the weekend, and on the weekends she went out to Elmwood Park. I didn't know that. I don't think she's selling that one. That one she's keeping. Anyway, as we celebrate Joe Biden Day here on this show, we'll have more of him, something he said this week, and things keep coming back right here on 89 WLS.
89